All right. Another warm day around the Bay Area, but a cool down in store. Rosemary here now with the forecast.
Yes, indeed. Today is going to be another hot one. In fact, a near repeat of yesterday. But as Alex said, we do have a cool down in sight. It'll start as we head towards Tuesday and better into Wednesday. Giving you a live look there at a gorgeous Golden Gate Bridge. Wall-to-wall sunshine outside our doors this afternoon. And we are looking at another spare the air day. So that to be aware of. Temperature-wise, we are in the 80s right now. Half Moon Bay, San Francisco reporting 72, 86 along the peninsula in Redwood City, into the South Bay, 86 Mountain View, and San Jose checking in at 93. As we get into the East Bay, mid-80s right now. Hayward, 83 in Oakland. Going to be a warm evening for the A's playing later today. 90 degrees Livermore, and we still have a ways to go. Probably hit 100 degrees in Livermore this afternoon. Into the North Bay, 94 right now in Napa, 86 reported in Santa Rosa. The 24-hour temperature change will show you we are just a tad cooler in some spots, but not going to be noticeable. Down by just 2 degrees in Santa Rosa, but warmer in Oakland, warmer in San Jose than where we were at this hour yesterday. That heat advisory in place until 8 o'clock this evening. Good reminder to just stay hydrated, avoid the outdoors if you can for any prolonged amount of time, especially during the afternoon hours when the heat, of course, is at its peak. We are not looking at good weather for the fire, of course, either. Right now, 84 degrees with 14% relative humidity in one location right there near Hawkeye. That's about 2,000 feet up. Meanwhile, closer to Cloverdale, it's 91 degrees with relative humidity 23% and the winds 5 miles per hour. The wind shouldn't be a huge issue, but it's just going to be very hot, very dry here today. I expect this 84 to be at least 94 as we get into the second part of the day. Relative humidity likely to drop down to about 10%. So firefighters definitely have their hands full with that one. Anything like what we're dealing with right now. Back to you.
All right, a lot more comfortable later in the week. Thank you, Rosemary.
Sure.
After days of protest, police in North Carolina.
All right, it has been warm around the Bay Area. Hot, I should say, around the Bay Area all weekend long, but there is relief in store.
Yes, indeed. And on a positive note, it's going to be a gorgeous evening at the Coliseum if you're going to see the A's play. A nice, warm, summer-like evening on the way. As we get into the numbers right now and for the afternoon, going to be a bit painful. That was a beautiful shot there of the Golden Gate Bridge. We have wall-to-wall sunshine again for today. A spare the air alert lasting today and more than likely going to be for tomorrow as well. For air quality purposes, we have north, central, and along the coast, North Bay, Central Bay, and along the coast. Let me finish my thought. With moderate air quality, unhealthy for some of the folks in the inner East Bay as well as South Bay. So that to be aware of. In particular, our sensitive groups. If you suffer from asthma, if you have respiratory issues, you're included in that group. Here's a look at what is going on for the afternoon today. Ridge of high pressure still in control. The ridge there you can see pushing that storm track still well to the north of us, and we have dry conditions over California. We have a variable wind in place. Yesterday it was primarily north and east, that offshore flow weakening just a little bit today, but you can see still north and east out of Fairfield 6 miles per hour, a northwest breeze in Concord at 7, Oakland reporting a westerly breeze at 9, and we have a southeasterly in Novato right about 10 miles per hour. So for the afternoon today, variable wind will remain in place, typical when we have that ridge of high pressure overhead. Here's a look at the numbers right now. We are already quite warm in most spots. Upper 80s in San Rafael, Berkeley, 83 in San Francisco, 83 in Oakland, our inner East Bay, 90 degrees right now in Livermore, 93 in San Jose. Our inland cities likely to go 5, even 10 degrees warmer by the second part of the day. 95 the afternoon high for Petaluma today, 89 in Sausalito, mid-90s, even a few upper 90s for the East Bay shoreline, near 100 degrees for Livermore today, Danville, into the South Bay, going to be hot for you here as well. 98 San Jose, 96 this afternoon in Santa Cruz. For the peninsula, 97 Palo Alto, 93 San Mateo, 90 in the city of San Francisco, mid to upper 80s at the coast, Half Moon Bay, Pacifica, Daly City. There's a look at your extended forecast. The fog is going to come back. It's going to take most of the day on Tuesday, which means only a minor relief expected on Tuesday with better cooling on Wednesday. Thursday, we get into your Bay Area weekend. 70s in the forecast for our inland cities, upper 60s around the Bay, low 60s at the coast. So if you don't like the heat, we do have some relief in sight.
Okay, can't get here soon enough, Rosemary.
Yep.
Thank you.
Sure.
The presidential candidates are focused on millennials.
Let's check in with our meteorologist, Rosemary Orozco. Rosemary, you and everyone else, the weather department warning about these dry, hot conditions, and here we are, right in the midst of it, and firefighters battling yet another blaze in the midst of those high fire conditions.
Yes, you said it, Heather. 100 degrees out there right now. Relative humidity 10%. Critically dry.
And the heat today is the big issue for firefighters at both fires as the firefighters' resources are being stretched. Rosemary Orozco joins us now. I guess the good news, Rosemary, the wind is down, at least in Santa Cruz.
Yeah. Yes, the wind definitely, well, not an issue, thankfully, because the wind's generally light out there. But as we know, very hot, very dry. We're now in peak fire season. So anytime we have conditions like this, we're going to see fires. 100 degrees right now in areas over the Santa Cruz Mountains. Relative humidity down to 10%. So it is burning very hot and probably faster than it would if it wasn't this hot or, of course, this dry. And you saw that plume of smoke right over the mountains. You can expect us to start to smell that smoke, especially over portions of the South Bay. It begins to work its way a little bit closer to us. Meanwhile, over portions of Sonoma County where the sawmill fire is still burning, 84 degrees reported right about 2,000 feet with the winds coming in from the east, 12 miles per hour. As you look towards areas a little bit farther or closer to Cloverdale, 101 degrees of relative humidity down to about 17%. So critically dry out there in many spots. Hot is definitely the headline for today. Take a look at some of these numbers. Set 97 degrees right now in Hayward, 94 in Oakland, the inner East Bay, 101 in Livermore right now. As we head to the North Bay, upper 90s in Santa Rosa, just widespread 90s out there. Almost 100 degrees in many areas. San Jose, 96 along the peninsula, 94 Palo Alto. And San Francisco, 87 degrees right now. San Francisco actually reached about 92 a little while ago, and that will probably be the afternoon high. So a lot of areas perhaps breaking records today. We'll get very close if we don't break them. We'll see how the National Weather Service comes away with that. But a look at the 24-hour temperature change. 5 degrees warmer in areas like Hayward, Oakland, 8 degrees warmer today in Livermore. It was baking yesterday. It's baking today. Good news is we do have a shift in the weather pattern coming our way. Ridge of high pressure is going to be breaking down just some and weakening as we get through tonight and into tomorrow. It looks like the fog will come late in the day, but it will come and we'll start to see a cooling trend. So fog returns in the afternoon and the onshore breeze will follow. We've got that breezy at times as we get into Wednesday and Thursday as the system continues to move closer to the Bay Area and continues to drop our temperatures. So today, the hottest day. We begin to feel a little better on Tuesday, a more notable change on Wednesday, and the cooling trend will continue for the second half of the business week and into your weekend. It'll take a few days to get there. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Rose. It was media day as the Golden State
conditions are making it difficult for fire crews all over the Bay Area. Let's check in now with meteorologist Rosemary Orozco. And Christina said the wind should be dying down as the night falls.
Yeah, the wind's actually not too bad out there. I was even looking at where Christina was standing, and there wasn't a lot of movement going on with the trees. Of course, you get within those hills and you get within the fire, and they definitely can create their own wind. But right now, it looks like the wind's not too bad. Cooler pattern as we start tomorrow. It's going to take a couple days for the temperatures really to fall off, but at least we're headed in the right direction. In the meanwhile, I'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Rosemary. The other fire in our area is the sawmill fire, even if they suspect it's being neglected.
All right, we want to turn back now to our meteorologist, Rosemary Orozco. Before we do have some updated information on that sawmill fire that we've been talking about, broke out yesterday. They have increased containment now to 45%. Okay. Obviously, we heard earlier in Rob Roth's report that they were really crediting the weather with allowing them to make some headway.
Yes, today. Yesterday they had the red flag warning in place when that fire broke out. So we had those gusty northeast winds. That was allowed to expire. The winds died down, and so that's the improving weather. And the weather will continue to improve as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and even into your Bay Area weekend. Temperatures are expected to continue to fall off. For tomorrow, though, one thing that will not change, the spare of the air, and that will be for Tuesday. Another one with the inner East Bay as well as the South Bay. Unhealthy for our sensitive groups, which means if you have asthma, if you have respiratory issues, something to be aware of. You know, this included, now we have the fire burning, the new one in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and so it's just going to be that much worse, perhaps for areas over the South Bay. Here's a look at the afternoon highs for today. The areas that tied records for today: San Rafael, Oakland, Mountain View, San Jose. Kentfield not on this actual map, but Kentfield also tied a record, so very, very hot out there. 101 Livermore, 97 Concord today, 99 in Santa Rosa. Right now, temperature is beginning to cool off, but still very warm. 95 in Brentwood, 82 in Oakland.
Reported so far, so that is good news. Let's bring in Rosemary Orozco. Yeah. Rosemary, it looks like the wind is pretty much not a factor right now.
Yes, thankfully, because we know the wind can definitely drive that fire very fast. We've seen fires double in acreage when it comes to that wind. So the wind's not bad, very hot and very dry though. And as we know, we're right in the middle of peak fire season. It hasn't rained in months, and we are going to remain in this type of condition until we get some rain in here, which could be weeks still away.